Look at this freak show.
Greetings humans, and welcome back to the channel where we talk Fortnite, save the world. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about how I solo the StormKing. This is a video I've been wanting to make since I thought about becoming a YouTuber. Soloing the StormKing for me is a lot of fun. There's a few good builds you can go with, and we're going to go over all those right now. And to be honest, you can, as long as you know how to go about the StormKing and you can kind of anticipate what's going to happen. Soloing the StormKing is not that bad, but with this build, we're in and out of that StormKing so fast, it's insane. I made 3 here because these are around the 3 that I see people using the most. Well, 3 commander heroes that I see people using the most, so I've made builds to go with them. Now, for the first one, we're going to be using an Obliterator. If you're lucky enough to have got that out of the military llama, the military weapon set, then you are just very fortunate, because that is the best sniper in the game. Highest damage, it's fantastic. And for the commander, we're going to go with Redline Ramirez Boss Skin. And people were like, why don't you go with, Bunny Jonesy? But I will show you why. Because her commander perk increases sniper damage, base damage, by 17%, and the fire rate by 45%. Now the fire rate is why she is going to be our commander, instead of using a commander for crit rate. I know everybody's big on crit, but that fire rate whenever you're dealing with a StormKing is fantastic. Now moving on to the team perk, we have Preemptive Strike, which I believe you get if you are lucky enough to have Raven. And with Preemptive Strike, for each hero of epic or higher rarity with at least 4 stars, you increase your damage by 6.5% against full health enemies, which will be the StormKing's targets. In your support team, we're going to be talking about that crit rate bonus. We're going to be talking about Rabbit Raider Jonesy. His support team perk increases sniper critical damage by 75%, which is honestly enough. You really don't need that insane overkill amount of sniper crit damage of 225%. And honestly, his skin is just not attractive to me. Whatever. I don't like running around as a giant pink bunny, but the sniper crit damage of 75% is more than enough in our support team. Moving along, we have here Fight or Flight with Special Forces Banshee. Her support team perk uses Warcry, and that grants 8.5% additional weapon damage and 8.5% movement speed, which is going to be fantastic for us laying waste to the StormKing when it's all said and done. You'll see what I'm talking about in a minute. In the support team here, we also have Waste Not, Want Not with Light Show Spitfire. And he increases your mag size by 30% when he's in your standard perk. Wonderful, wonderful to have. For this next one, Locked and Reloaded. Definitely one of my favorites for this build, because every time you reload in your support or in your standard perk, you increase weapon damage by 15% for 5 seconds. So if you want, you can just take one shot with that Obliterator, reload, and before you're done reloading, or after you're done reloading, then the next crystal on the StormKing will appear, so you have plenty of time to get that extra 15% damage. Now, I run with Survivalists usually in all my builds, but honestly, if I had them, I might prefer, and they're coming back out in the next couple of weeks, I believe, is what the roadmap said. I might prefer our man down here from the Blockbuster heroes, Chromium Ramirez or Diecast Jonesy. I believe they have the same perk. Oh no, I guess they don't. So you would want to go Chromium Ramirez. I don't have them, so I don't I don't know off the top of my head, but her standard perk reloads with an empty magazine, regenerate 13.5% of your shield over 3 seconds. That's great because while you're doing this, you have a chance of getting shot by blasters. It's really cool. So that takes care of that whole build. You know, I had Adrenaline Rush and Stationary Turret for most of mine, but I also see when people are soloing the StormKing or running around StormKing in public lobbies, not soloing, they use Jack's Revenge a lot, which is the highest damage pistol in the game, and for that I created this build. You use Beetle Jess, which is who they're running around with more often than not. You can get her out of the Fortnitemere collection, and the Birthday Llama's coming up, hopefully. And for her team perk, I also put Preemptive Strike, because that high damage Jack's Revenge pistol, you really only need one shot. Hopefully, you know, but with a quick reload, sometimes you have to do 2 or 3, and it's not that bad. And the support team, I grabbed Hip Shot here with Ranger Deadeye. You can grab him from the collection book Standard Outlanders, Locked and Reloaded again. I added Blaze of Glory with Gunblazer Southie because his extra ability is Phase Shift, increasing pistol damage by 105, or I'm sorry, by 35% for 4 seconds when he's in your support team. 105 is whenever he's your commander. And since we have them in the support team, I added Phased and Confused with Phase Scout Jess, who is the mythic from the regular Outlanders in the collection book. You can recruit her if you like, and when she's in your standard, she only gives you 1 extra charge, and when she's your commander, she gives you 3. But either way, any extra charge when you're trying to get that damage ramped up is great. And again, survivalist just in most of my builds. And lastly, I threw together a quick assault rifle damage build, of course with Tactical Assault Sledgehammer. Went with Blast in the Past team perk, Sorry and Might for the ramping assault damage. She gives you shield. That's base assault damage. And I went with Bulletstorm Jonesy instead of Crackshot, because whenever you're going to be fighting the StormKing, you're not going to be up close and personal, so you don't really want your gun to kick around as much. And Bulletstorm Jonesy, instead of going from 50% bonus damage like Crackshot does, he goes to 25, but Crackshot has that stability loss. And since we're going to be at such a long range, I don't want that. And I threw in Survivalist. So let's get into some gameplay and see how quick I can take down the StormKing with my solo StormKing build. Here we are in the pre-StormKing, I guess, lobby you could say. I'm running with a 130 Sunbeam Obliterator. I believe double crit rate, double crit damage. I have the Baron for triple movement speed, and the Wraith just to finish anything off. So I use this to get out of the way of these rocks. Come right back where I was. Whoops. You'll probably see the fire rate come into play here shortly. Get a good shot of that. That one's gone. Get the reload for that bonus damage. There we go. Another crystal down. Actually, let me just pull that right back out. We take down half damage of that one. Yep, about half. And one more. Oh, 2 more. There we go. So yeah, that's where the fire rate comes into play. Just in case you don't crit and you just get that damage, it's not a problem at all. Smash these guys here. Drop one of these. And I like to use brick, put up a wall whenever I'm soloing this, and then I like to use Warcry because that grants that damage. That's why we have that Banshee in our support. And look how fast this Baron's smacking it. When you use hardware, you get these big numbers like this, 533, you can get up to 900. So I just have this build as just movement speed. You know, there's no attack speed on it, there's no crit damage or anything like that, and it just absolutely handled that StormKing. Back to my little spot here. Wait for him to fire, move out of the way of that. Head right back, pull out the sniper. Where are we at? I hate these side shots, I really do. There we go. 1 down, 2 more to go. Oh, of course, it heard me. But I got that with 1 shot. Reload, get that bonus damage. Here comes a lot of nonsense, I'm sure. And there we are. Whoop, did I miss because of these guys here? God. There we go. I actually need 15 seconds on that war cry. Whoop, I am on the opposite side of where I need to be. I'm actually going to use steel just because. Now where do I got to go? Up here. Alright, beautiful, beautiful. War cry, pull out the Baron, and it's just about done. Just throw him up in the air, why not? Start attacking him. And it's over, and we have just soloed the StormKing. Pop off a couple sniper shots right into him. Ended just a bit quicker. There it is. There it is. And that, my friends, is how I like to solo the StormKing. That is the most effective way for me in particular. Reasons to solo the StormKing is I've walked away with as much as 350 reperk from one 5-minute little match. Over, I think, 100 pure drops of rain. I've got epic perk up. I've gotten legendary schematics. What else? Just everything. Just everything you could possibly want. You know, you have a chance to get here. And it takes, what? That had to have been 5 minutes. I want time on myself, but that was absolutely quick. You know, and that's just a regular run for me. So, I guess with that, I'll wrap it up. And maybe I'll make some other videos on how, you know, using those other characters to solo the StormKing. That might be a little interesting. But I hope this video helped you out. If it did, please hit that like and subscribe button. It's fantastic to help small YouTubers like myself get their game off the ground. But if you didn't like this video, if it didn't help you out, don't smash it. Don't hit those buttons. It's all good. I'm sure a few people do. I'm sure a few people won't. It's all good, man. Just I'm putting these videos out just to help build the community and just to have fun, really. So, well, with that, I hope you all live long and prosper.
Is under attack! Check your map for the location of the shelter. Find the shelter before the husks do too much damage. Look at this freak show. Once the shelter is repaired, we can extract the survivors. It'll take 10 minutes to fully recharge the shelter.